Today, let's collect Catwoman. Hey everyone, welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting and our 35th episode of our Let's Collect series. Today we're going to be collecting Catwoman, Selina Kyle. And yes, this is a level of character I typically don't do, much like my Daredevil I did in the last video, because there's so many comics, there's so much going on here. This is a character that was created way back in 1940 with her first appearance in Batman 1. That also means because of the Golden Age, a lot of her keys are really out of reach for most collectors. But this is a character I thought it would be fun to do, have some other ideas or maybe some additional content that spins out of this in the coming weeks. But just one of my favorite characters, so I decided to do it anyway, even though a lot of the books we're going to talk about are kind of maybe out of a lot of people's reach. But for those initiating into the Let's Collect series, since I kind of dove into my explanation of why I was doing Catwoman before the series, this is my quick guide to the key comics, fun stories, or important stories and fun covers of a character in comic books. This is no means meant to be a complete guide. It's supposed to be like just some of the initial stuff. If you're interested in a character, you want to start collecting them, this is a way to kind of get you an initial start on them. The way I do this in terms of value, so I don't date this video like as soon as I make it, going forward, is I can put values of books kind of in categories so you can kind of see the range in which they're going for. I will put those categories up right now. So you can see, and a lot of these books are going to be in that top range just because of how old they are and that kind of stuff. But at least gives you an idea of what you're looking at if you're kind of digging into these books. But yeah, we're going to be talking about Catwoman, created in 1940, Batman's love interest for 80 plus years now. And yeah, we're going to be talking about her today, her key comics, important stories, and fun covers. So let's dig in. We'll start with those key comics. Yes, some of these are going to be huge, but a few of them toward the end of this list were definitely going to be pretty affordable. Okay, let's dig into those key comics. First up is Batman #1 from 1940. As big a book as you can get here with the first appearance of Catwoman and of the Joker. In this book, she was only called the Cat. Next, we have Batman #2, her second appearance, and this is the first time they actually refer to her as Catwoman, another huge Golden Age book. Next, in Batman 3 is the first time we see Catwoman in any sort of costume. She's actually wearing like this mascot-style cat head. But in Batman 35 from 1946 is the first time we get her in that classic Golden Age purple and green costume gown that she wears. You see that costume here in Detective Comics 122. This is her first cover appearance. So she did not get on a cover until 1947. Her origin was not explored until Batman #62 in 1950. Another key and big book from the Golden Age. Her last Golden Age appearance was Detective Comics #211 in 1954. She disappeared from comics for 12 years because of the Comic Code Authority and didn't return until Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane #70 in 1966. This is her first Silver Age appearance of Catwoman. Batman #313 in 1979 is the first official time that Catwoman and Batman went on a date and kissed. Batman #332 is the first time she got a solo story. The backup story was her solo story. So that took for 40 years to get a solo story. Brave and the Bold, number 197, is the marriage of Earth 2 Catwoman and Batman. This is told by the Huntress from that universe. Next, we got Catwoman #1, Volume 1 from 1989, her first miniseries or solo title book, and the first appearance of her sister. Catwoman #1, Volume 2 from 1993, her first ongoing solo title with the great Jim Ballant art. Next, we have Catwoman #1, Volume 3 from 2002. We got a redesign and probably the most classic run written by Ed Brubaker. Next, we have Gotham City Sirens #1 from 2009, the first official team up with the Gotham City Sirens. There's a couple kind of cameos, but this is the first official. All right, so those were the key comics for Catwoman. A lot of great stuff there. Obviously, a ton of about half the list was Golden Age stuff. But the second half of the list is very affordable. And even some of those later Golden Age stuff you can find in very low grades at somewhat reasonable prices, but not super reasonable. So at least reachable for most collectors, I would guess. All right, so that is our discussion of Catwoman's keys. Now let's dig into her important story arcs. This was kind of tough. There's a lot of story arcs. She's been in a lot of comics over the years, but kind of narrowed it down to 7 different arcs here we're going to talk about. So here are the important stories for Catwoman. All right, now let's talk about the important stories for Catwoman. First up, we have Brave and the Bold 197, the autobiography of Bruce Wayne, kind of the first really telling of how their relationship came together, how they fell in love and got married on Earth 2, and a great example of how they could get together. Next, we have Her Sister's Keeper, her first solo series from 1989. This is kind of a follow-up to Batman Year 1, and really tells the story of her origin and the story of her and her sister. Next, we have Only Happy When It Rains, Catwoman number 58 through 60 from Volume 2 by Devin Grayson and Jim Ballant. Selina willingly takes the Scarecrow's fear agent to face her fears. Next, we have the entire Catwoman of East End omnibus. A whole bunch of stories that would have been on this list are from this omnibus. The Ed Brubaker and Darwin Cook run are considered some of the best, including Selina's Big Score, which was kind of a one-shot. Next, we have When in Rome. This is kind of connected to the Long Halloween Dark Victory world where Selina explores her heritage. Just a great story by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. Next, we have Rooftops, Date Night, Late Rights, and Double Date. Some of the best stories from the Tom King run on Batman. He really focused on these 2 characters, and these are some of the best issues in that run. And finally, we have Lonely City, Catwoman Lonely City by Cliff Chiang. Just a great futuristic story of Selina and how she survives after Bruce is gone. Okay, so those are some of Selina's best stories. I really recommend several of those. I haven't read all of them yet. I'm only missing a couple, but I really recommend most of those. Those are really good stuff if you enjoy the character and are interested. All right, with that, it's time to move on to the fun covers. This was extremely hard, which is often the case, particularly with some of the female characters, since they get a lot of really great covers, especially recently in the last decade or so. And I narrowed it down to 15. These are in no particular order in terms of like ranking these 15. I also limited myself to 1 cover per artist. So that means only 1 Adam Hughes, only 1 Jim Ballant, only 1 Jenny Frison, etc., etc. Which was super hard to do. The only reason I got it down to 15 is because I'm going to cheat. There will be another video coming out a week or so, probably focused just on the covers for Catwoman. So yeah, I did all this work to find all these. We're gonna get a little more out of it. So there'll be more on the covers, but these are my choice for 15 fun covers you can collect for Catwoman, most of which are pretty affordable. Okay, so let's dig into those covers. And I did have to include 1 Golden Age cover. This is Batman 42, her first Golden Age cover on Batman title, and just my favorite of the Golden Age covers. Next, we have Batman number 460 from 1991, Norm Brayfogle. This is just a great Selina cover from the early 90s. Next, we have Catwoman number 55, my favorite Jim Ballant cover. I know there'd be a lot of debate on which one's the best, but this is my particular favorite. Next, we have Gotham Girls number 1 by Shane Glynns. Just a great Selina cover. All these Gotham Girls covers are fantastic. Next, we have Catwoman number 43 by Jock from 2005. Just an awesome Jock cover of her leaping between buildings. Next, we had to go with this Adam Hughes cover, Catwoman number 51. So many great Adam Hughes covers, but this is clearly the most popular. Next, we have Gotham City Sirens number 7 by Gilliam Marks. Just a great Selina cover, and part of a connecting cover with Harley and Ivy. Next, we have the cover you've seen a lot of, this Darwin Cook cover from Catwoman number 37. I just love this variant. I just think it's fantastic. I love Darwin Cook's style. Had to include it. Next, we have Batman number 50, the Joshua Middleton Sailfish store variant of Selina in her wedding dress. There's also color versions of this, but I love that black and white. Next, we have Catwoman number 4 The Art Germ variant, just absolutely my favorite of all the Art Germ variants, although there's a lot of good ones. Next, we have Catwoman number 18 from Volume 5. This Joelle Jones cover of Catwoman in her Golden Age costume is just fantastic. My favorite Jenny Frison cover on Catwoman number 35. Another just fantastic cover, and another tough debate for me to go with this Frison. Next, we have Batman Catwoman Special number 1, this Lee Weeks variant. I just love this one of her escaping from, you see the soldiers down below, escaping between buildings. Next, we have Catwoman number 43, the Sozumaka 1 in 25 variant of her and Harley. Just one of my favorite variants of all time. And finally, I included this Catwoman number 58 variant by Joshua Swaby of her picking this guy's pocket while he's distracted. All right, so we've done the fun covers, we've done the key comics, we've done the important stories for Catwoman, Selina Kyle. I want to thank you guys for joining me for another Let's Collect. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Later.